Coffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another video today. Is should we sell Demarai Gray? Obviously, he had interest from a club in the Saudi League, and then Crystal Palace. Wilfried Zaha left Crystal Palace to go to Galatasaray, which opened the door, obviously, for Demarai Gray. Honestly, if you'd asked me, like at the end of last season, who needs to go, he wouldn't have been one of the names on my list. Personally, I think he's a good player. It wouldn't be one I would look to get rid of. I don't think he's a great player. I think obviously, but I think he's a good player. I think he's certainly a good player. Yeah, he's not one I could name at least four more players ahead of him that should be leaving that door quicker. But yeah, like I said, Demarai Gray, brought him for like, what was it, 1.5 million in the Rafa Benitez. Gonna call it an era. I was gonna call it an era, but I think you could just about call it a dash. He lasted what, half a year and a half. It was half a year, wasn't it? Really, really poor, and everyone could see it coming. But yeah, brought Demarai Gray, and I think at first he was one that like people weren't down on, but people were like, he's been places, it's not kicked off. Oh, what's going to happen? But then the fee came in, and you were like, for that fee, he's worth the gamble. 25 years old, or 26, I think he was then. He's now 27. He's worth the gamble. It's worth the attempt. Let's see what happens. So obviously in his Premier League in the 2021-2022 campaign, he played 34 games, got 5 goals, 4 assists. That will be during the Benitez era. And then last year under Frank Lampard and Sean Dyche, he got 33 games, 4 goals and 1 assist. So not as good of a season, but he was sort of wasn't played as much towards the end, which is ultimately why he's leaving, or he's looking to leave, apparently. His game time. Crystal Palace are looking at him. I think he'd be really good at Crystal Palace. I think he'll do very well there. They've got a lot of young talent, and a lot of wingers as well. But a lot of really good, exciting talent in that Crystal Palace team. And I'm surprised. I think they're only the manager away from like really pushing for the mid-table club. I mean, Roy Hodgson's done well since he's come in, but when you look at like who they have up, in those wider areas, they have Eze, Elise, 2 very, very great players. Then you add Demarai Gray in, and their squad is a good age of experienced players and young players coming through as well. I think he'll do well there. I think he'd do really well on that left, coming in on his right foot, which we've seen so many times at Everton. Who can forget some of the goals he scored? He's in this short period, he's scored some of the best goals I've seen in the last couple of years. One against Arsenal, and he hit them, and like you think, that's a fluke, you won't do that again. But then he hits another one, and you're like, whoa, it's that locking in, coming in from the left, cutting in, right foot cannon. He's got that as his almost trademark now, and I think that just is an absolutely lethal ability to have. And then we talk about the obvious as well with Demarai Gray's pace is blistering. He's still one of the fastest you watch in the Premier League. He's definitely one of the fastest in the Everton squad, which is another reason I'm surprised we're getting rid of him. I think his pace could be better used in this Everton squad. But alas, obviously Sean Dyche doesn't seem to rate him. The possibilities for that, I'm not too sure. I'm not going to get, possibilities. I'm not in his head, so I don't know for sure. But he does come with sort of not issues, constraints to his style of play. And obviously, one of them being that I personally don't think he's very good at crossing the ball or from corners. But he is very good at dribbling, shooting from distance, playing long balls, counter-attacking threat, and he likes to cut inside. So he is very valuable in that aspect. It does leave the club as well on a little silly situation now. We now have to I mean, Dan Juma could cover there, but we are now looking at seeing if we can get another winger in. As currently speaking, we're after Tete. Nonto could play there, so I guess if the club's thinking we're going to get Nonto, there's no point having Demarai Gray there. He's going to get less game time. Um, but yeah, for me personally, I think if Crystal Palace are offering a decent money, the situation we're in where we've got to take decent money, 1.5 million we bought him for, as long as we make that, but anything over that is net profit. I think it's one of those where, although he's not the first person I would sell, it, I think you have to sell him, don't you? There's not many, and this is the problem. People will go, "Why are we selling him? Then there's loads of rubbish in our squad," you know. And like I said, I could name 5 players at least that probably should hit the door first. Problem is, they're not getting bought though. Nobody wants to buy them because clubs probably value them as what we value them or what we've shown their value to be. And in the cases of the likes of the Michael Keanes, the Andre Gomez's of the world, we've not shown that we value them very highly. And it would take clubs like Lille, who've had Andre Gomez on loan, to sort of go, oh yeah, I value him higher. But like the likes of Michael Keane, I don't see many suitors watching him thinking I rate him because Everton don't really rate him. I know Sean Dyche clearly does, but that's another story. So yeah, I think we've got to cash in on him. I think it's a shame. He's a good player. He's got a good attitude. He came to the Premier League with a point to prove because he sort of failed to make that sort of statement now. But now he has. And I think when he goes to Crystal Palace, he'll have that same hunger. And I think it'll go well for him. I think Crystal Palace is the right move for him. And I think it's the right move for the club. But that's all we've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I look forward to reading it. I'll see you soon.